The first time I suspected something was wrong, it wasn't with a message or a smell, or even the late-night texts I pretended not to notice. It was the way she smiled when she said, "I'm going on a girls' cruise next week. Just us, some sun, some cocktails. You'll be fine here without me." The smile was too rehearsed, too confident, and it didn't reach her eyes. I remember that feeling like an electric shock. Something inside me tightened. I didn't know why yet, but I knew something had shifted. Her name is Claire. We've been married for 7 years. 7 years of shared apartments, shared bills, shared vacations, shared life. And yet, somehow, 7 years could hide a secret. I nodded at her, tried to muster a smile and said, "Sounds fun. You deserve a break." She kissed me lightly on the cheek and walked out the door, the sound of her heels on the hardwood echoing through our quiet apartment. I watched her go, my chest tightening for reasons I couldn't explain. The day she left, I tried to keep myself busy. Work, errands, chores. But every time my phone buzzed, my heart lurched. I found myself checking her social media, even though I promised myself I wouldn't. The posts were innocuous. Photos of sun-soaked beaches, cocktails with straw umbrellas, selfies with her friends. Everything appeared normal, too normal maybe. I brushed it off as paranoia. Maybe I was overthinking. It was the 4th night of her trip when I received it. A package on our doorstep. No return address, no name. Just my name written neatly in black ink. I carried it inside, my hands trembling slightly, a premonition gnawing at the back of my mind. I tore the package open and found a bottle inside. A wine bottle, mid-range. One of the ones we used to enjoy on our quiet Friday nights together. There was a note attached with red string. I unfolded it slowly, fearing what I might read. "Some truths are better felt than spoken. I'm sorry." No signature. No explanation. Just those 6 words. I felt my stomach drop. My mind spun. Could it be a joke? Could it be something else entirely? I paced our living room, clutching the bottle, staring at the note over and over, hoping that reading it again would make sense. But it didn't. It only made the pit in my chest grow. I didn't call her. I didn't text. Instead, I did something I've never done before. I started digging. Slowly, methodically. I pulled her old messages from months ago, piecing together conversations, scanning for anything that felt off. First I found nothing. But then I did. A few casual mentions of someone named Ryan. Ryan. She had mentioned him in passing. Nothing incriminating, just a laugh, a joke. But combined with the bottle, the note, the feeling in my gut, it was enough. By the time she returned from her girls' cruise, I wasn't the same man who had waved her goodbye at the airport. I was exhausted, emotionally raw, and unsteady. I decided to wait to see if she would notice the change in me. She walked in, sun-kissed and laughing, dragging her suitcase behind her. "Honey, I missed you," she said, throwing her arms around me. I hugged her back, mechanically, my heart racing with the knowledge I could no longer ignore. "Claire," I said, my voice low, hesitant. "Can we talk?" She raised an eyebrow. "Of course. What's wrong?" I placed the bottle on the kitchen counter, the note staring up at her like an accusation. "This came for me while you were gone." Her eyes flickered, just for a second. A fraction of a second. Then she smiled, the same practiced smile from the day she left. "A gift. From who?" I shook my head. "I don't know. But it makes me realize something. Maybe I've been blind." Her smile faltered slightly. She opened her mouth to speak, and I continued before she could interrupt. "I know you lied about the cruise, Claire. I know about Ryan." The color drained from her face. She took a step back. You don't understand." "I understand more than you think," I said, my voice steadier than I felt. "I understand that the woman I married, the woman I trusted with everything, lied to me. That while I was here, worrying, living our life, you were somewhere else with him." Tears welled in her eyes, but I didn't feel sympathy. I felt anger, heartbreak, betrayal. I wanted to scream, to shake her, to demand answers I didn't know I could handle. Instead, I asked the question I needed to hear. Why? She shook her head. It's not that simple. I didn't plan for it to happen. I don't know. I felt. You felt what? That you deserved this. That our life wasn't enough. My voice cracked despite my attempt at composure. I didn't know how to stop it. It was a mistake, she whispered, her voice breaking. Mistake. That's what she called it. My hands shook as I grabbed the bottle again, holding it like a shield between us. The note, her warning, her confession, her guilt, was still wrapped around it. And I realized something terrifying. I didn't know if I could forgive her. I needed space. I needed to breathe. I needed to understand who the woman in front of me really was. I left the apartment that night, walking through the city streets in the darkness, replaying everything over and over. The laughter, the smiles, the nights she stayed late at work, the weekends she spent with friends. Every memory became tainted, every word a potential lie. Days passed. We spoke in fragments, each conversation a tightrope over a chasm of hurt. She wanted to explain, I wanted to escape. I didn't know if our marriage could survive this. And yet, despite everything, a part of me still loved her. The same part that had loved her from the moment we met, that had imagined a life together, children, vacations, quiet mornings. One night, I came home to find the apartment dark, the bottle still on the counter. She was sitting in the living room, knees drawn to her chest, head bowed. I didn't say anything. I sat across from her, the silence stretching between us. I sent you that bottle, she said finally, her voice barely a whisper. I wanted you to know. I wanted you to feel it before you found out from someone else. I couldn't face you, not yet. The honesty hurt in its own way. It wasn't the act itself, I could hate her for that, but the layers of secrecy, the games, the lies. You think sending me a bottle can fix this? Asked, my throat tight. No, she said. It's not about fixing. It's about telling the truth. For once, I don't expect forgiveness. I needed you to know. I stared at her, the woman I loved and hated at the same time. My chest ached, my mind raced. I wanted to scream, cry, beg, and walk away. All at once. I don't know if I can forgive you, I said finally. I don't know if I can trust you again. But I do know one thing. I need honesty. I need the truth, even if it's painful. Even if it destroys us. She nodded, tears sliding down her cheeks. I'll tell you everything. Every lie, every secret, every choice I made. And I'll answer any question you ask. The nights that followed were brutal. We sat for hours, talking through her infidelity, her feelings, the moment she had chosen him over me. Every story she told was a dagger in my heart, every confession a reminder of what we had lost. And yet, amidst the pain, there was a strange clarity. I saw the woman she was, flawed, human, desperate for something she couldn't name. And I saw the man I had become, betrayed, fragile, yet still capable of empathy. Weeks later, we stood on the balcony of our apartment, the city lights stretching endlessly below us. The bottle she had sent sat on the ledge, empty now, a symbol of both betrayal and confession. I didn't touch it. I didn't need to. I don't know if we can go back, I said, my voice low. But I know we can't go forward without facing everything. She reached for my hand, trembling. I don't expect forgiveness. I want a chance to make things right. I squeezed her hand, uncertain, wary, but not closing the door entirely. A chance, I repeated. Maybe. But it will take time. And honesty. No more secrets. No more lies. She nodded, tears glistening in her eyes, and for the first time in weeks, I felt something I hadn't allowed myself to feel. A flicker of hope. The road ahead would be long. Trust, once broken, doesn't heal overnight. But maybe, just maybe, love could survive the betrayal. And maybe that bottle, with its silent, accusatory note, had been the first step toward truth.